The American people are demanding to know what their government is doing in response to these crises. Crisis after crisis after crisis. And what is the leadership here in the Senate doing? And tragically, Mr. President, the answer is nothing. Nothing. Historians have suggested that in the year 64 AD, while Rome was burning, the Emperor Nero played his fiddle. At least he did something. He provided entertainment to his court. But here in the U.S. Senate, Republican leader McConnell and his leadership team are doing nothing. Sadly, tragically, this is the worst do-nothing Senate in modern American history, and every member of this body should be deeply ashamed at the degree to which we are failing our constituents.
You gotta love Bernie Sanders' flat delivery there. I mean, I've missed that man. I have. And it's good to see him out there. But really, Mitch McConnell, it's embarrassing and sociopathic that he's basically sitting on two huge crises and legislation surrounding them and not doing anything about it. So when it comes to police reform, Republicans are scattered all over the place and are not doing anything per usual. Tim Scott, the sole black Republican senator, is leading the charge, according to reports, but he has ruled out any bill that includes reforming qualified immunity, meaning they won't touch that. They won't make it easier for police officers to be prosecuted, which Democrats should be like, nope, no, we need that. But when it comes to the coronavirus package, that's even more critical right now because there are deadlines. So they need to be voting on that first and then addressing the police brutality bill as well. He's sitting on the coronavirus stimulus bill, the HEROES Act. That was passed in the House around a month ago at this point, just a little under a month ago. He doesn't want to be seen against voting or as voting against a bill that cuts checks for Americans, that gives equipment and hazard pay to essential workers, etc. But he doesn't want to vote on it or vote for it. So he just keeps pushing the deadline back on when they're going to even consider the bill, as people are hurting so badly economically. And he first said, oh, we'll do it when we're back in session. And now they may not touch it while they're in session in June at all. Republicans' arguments for the stimulus delays include concerns that some of the funds in previous bills have yet to be distributed and a stronger than expected recent jobs report. Despite gains documented in the report, the unemployment rate is still at 13.3%, a high that hasn't been reached since the Great Depression, and millions are still filing for new claims. Timing for the stimulus package matters because programs that were included in earlier bills, like the boost in pandemic unemployment, are due to sunset at the end of July. As a result, the pressure to get something done is only growing as many workers and businesses continue to struggle with the economic fallout of the pandemic. At this point, the Senate is poised to leave for 2 weeks at the start of July, and it's looking like more action on stimulus won't happen until they return. And as Bernie pointed out there, it is unbelievable that that is the case. Once again, Mitch McConnell is banking on gridlock to not help Americans, and that the average person in Kentucky won't be able to see through that obvious political maneuver and just think, oh, it's just Washington, D.C. That's what the worst thing about these kinds of Republicans like Mitch McConnell. They capitalize on American cynicism about politicians to do nothing to help them. And it's really just a gross exercise. So McConnell's up for re-election this year. There's a Democratic primary going on now in Kentucky, and we can get this guy out of here because clearly he has no interest in helping his constituents. He's sitting on a bill, won't even consider it. make all your pro-corporate amendments, do whatever you want to do. Bring the bill up. Start talking about it. He won't do that. And that's why Bernie Sanders is so rightfully angry.